kind of very self-loving state that it makes a whole new difference for my life and being here. And it's like I think there was this kind of sense before that, oh, I wish I could be somewhere else where I am more masterful or something like that. But now it's very different. I actually enjoy to being right here where I am right now. And it's like a discovery. And I think it's going to be a nice journey.
And is it like, it's a big relief as well, isn't it? Like to sort of be okay with yourself, because like that's one of those biggest things, because you can't escape yourself forever. You're, you know, you're with you are you, and you are the creator, and you're creating your own life. So there's no escaping that. So it's such a relief when you finally start feeling that incredible, you know, satisfaction with what you're creating, with who you are, with what's happening, and then you can then realize how you can just change things, you know, after you've accepted and kind of like just sunk it. Like it sometimes feels like you're sinking into your life. Does it feel like that to you?
Yes, absolutely. And also, I think part of it is because now I start feeling like an adult, not a little kid anymore. So it's a big difference, I think. And there is just so much like what I'm going to do with my life, what is going to be my profession. I have never been working. I have never been that kind of experience. So this is a very new thing, and I think my sole passion is to help others and guide others with this kind of integration work. But I think first I need to be more safe and connected with myself. But after
Yeah, because I think that there's a couple of more people trying to get in, but they keep going in and out. So excuse me if I keep looking in a different way. I'm just trying to find them there so when they come in, so I don't miss them. Yeah, it's you know, it like you can never really also be ready, you know, feel ready. So it kind of, for me, was I didn't feel ready, but it just felt like it was time, you know, to just start doing, if that's your passion, to just start doing just in a little ways and just experimenting with this. Because you know, all you can do is just see, oh, this worked and this didn't work. And like the big trick is to actually just start saying, I'm ready, you know, and feel that, because there is no need. I mean, you don't even have to act on it, you know, like straight away. There's no need to straight away act. There may still be some resting, you know, after all that heaven's cross and coming all of these parts to yourself, but you're starting to feel passion, and you can just play in that. But just feel ready. How does it feel to be ready? You see, because like if you say, okay, I'm not yet ready, then you're putting it into the future. But as a creator, like, you know, you're putting it somewhere away from you. But as a creator, you always first feel what you want, and then it happens. So if you say, and you start feeling that I am ready, and then it will just happen slowly, you know, then it starts unraveling. But you just feel it, and you just have this incredible confidence as a creator, as an eternal being. I am ready. How does it feel? It feels like this, because then it becomes reality, you know. But if you say, I still have to do this, then you're putting it away, and it's still just something somewhere out there, but not your reality, you know. Because and then you will never feel not just you, but a person, anyone, you will never feel ready, you know, because it's one day kind of. But so this is your passion. I mean, because the thing is that you have so much experience, you know, and that once you do it yourself, when you do it yourself and you have done it yourself, then you have that practical experience, which no theory, you know, of integration and transformation, and no theory can teach you differently. I'll just check something else.
I
Just
think there was some kind of, it was for me too very hard to get in.
Really? So what happened?
There was some kind of downloads and just keep on going on, and then I need to go out and try to get in and try to get out, get in, but yeah.
Oh, I wonder, I'll just check something here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on. I don't have anything else that I can do. So I'll just check email to see if anyone sent a message, because I know there's few more people coming. No, that's all good. Maybe they check. Oh well, if they come, they come. There's everything is checked, so there's nothing more I can do. So that's you know, and if it's just you and I, that's great too. It is. We can share, we can experience and play and dance. Because today, do you feel all of the different solar flares today? Did you feel tired at all, or not really?
Yeah, I was really tired in the morning. I was lying down and Are you feeling it?
Sorry?
Are you feeling it?
Oh, yes. Today, like I slept to about 12 o'clock. So it's kind of I've just been sleeping, and other people are saying too, you know, sleeping 15 hours, 18 hours, and not just full on sleeping, but sleep and then kind of wake up and then being in that half space, you know, just envisioning and feeling and dreaming. And then when I woke up, then I had a conversation with someone on Zoom, and then after I could feel the solar flares, and I had to go for a nap because it just throws me. It's never been like this month. This month, whatever's happening with the Schumann resonance, with solar flares and all of these things has been so strong that it just, my body just goes, like now I recognize how it feels, that particular tiredness, and I just have to lie down, you know. And it's great to have the kind of work and flexibility in life to be able to just go with this, because if I had to at the moment work full time, I don't know how I would do it. I wouldn't be able to do that at all. So yeah, it's very full on.
Yes, it's very full on, definitely.
And have you been having like new experiences with your soul and your dreams and your visions? Or
Yes,
just more?
I with my soul, the connection is definitely more there, and it's more present, and it invites me all the time to be present with it, because there is still this habit that I just leave it and go and then so this happened and this happened, and then I come back. But it invites me quite like, now just come, and there is like no need to keep on playing this separation game anymore, I think so. And with my dreams, I have to say, I still see every night dreams from my past. It's like these kind of experiences still play out in the nights.
Like what has happened to you, and is it like, has it changed the tones, or is it scary, or change?
It's not scary anymore, but it's just that I am with the old people in my life. They're doing some kind of weird stuff, but it just keeps on going. Like I'm just
Hmm. I get very vivid dreams too. And yesterday, like I woke up and I felt I was in a wheelchair, you know, and that's what I dreamed in the dream. And it's funny because in the last few weeks I was really interested, like with what happens in a hospital and all of those kind of experiences. So I watched a few series like that, or few videos like that, and then I had a dream, and it was this part, you know, coming home that had to experience what it's like to have an accident, and then to hear that news, and then to get used to that kind of life. Very intense, but I didn't even know I had that kind of life.
mm.
Yeah, but it can sometimes be like very, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope, you know, I'm not creating this. I better not go for a drive with the car or something like that, you know, because I find that at the moment it is very much like what we focus on. It really does happen. You know, the other day I was walking on the beach, and then the tide came in and there were rocks and became very slippery. And just as I was thinking, oh, it would be easy to fall, slip and fall here. And then I just had these images as one time before, years ago, I slipped and fall and straight away I slipped and fell. It just happens so quickly, you know, and then you have to really be careful as to, okay, so this imagery is coming into my head. So I have to just really let it flow out of me so I don't identify with it, so that I don't make it real and true. So yeah, it's very, very immediate how we experience what is happening, you know, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we put out. It's firstly exciting because you can then start to really create things, but at the same time we have to just be so present with everything. Because if you're thinking different, not wrong things, but you know, you have to be careful what you feel and what kind of imageries you're focusing on, so that focus has become so efficient, I would say.
Yes.
And are you how are you working with all the mass consciousness? Is it affecting you a lot, or not really?
I have to say I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I think yes, it's affecting, and then it's not so much. I think it's like a both. But I have to say I'm not so aware of it yet.
So like you can just be in your own world regardless of what is going on around you.
Yes, but of course it's more easier to me when I'm like my home or somewhere where is no others. Like when I go like a public transport, then it's like difficult. There is I need to really focus.
Yeah. It becomes a little bit like that. Just one sec. I'll have a look. Just one sec. Oh. no, that's it. So I've done all that I can. So now it's up to people themselves.
Yes.
There are no other buttons to press. I know there were at least two more people that were coming, and then there was another person that logged in, and then for some reason didn't start talking, and they've disappeared. So maybe it's all of these intensities that are happening. I don't know, but here we are. So we just keep having this wonderful conversation just ourselves, and if they join us, they join us. Otherwise, I can't really do anything else with the technology. And this is what happens, you know, when we have the solar flares, we have all those beautiful auroras. Have you seen them at your place at all?
No,
No.
no.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, because they sort of happen when with all these electromagnetics, but at the same time they also affect the technology, like our bodies, but also the technology, and you know, all of these kind of things. So, but I've had these wonderful conversations with people how they're able to really not dream, but visualize and experience all of their different lifetimes that are happening, and they're able to intersect. So I sometimes wake up in the morning, and sometimes, you know, I wake up as a younger boy that lives in New York, who's a dancer, and sometimes I wake up in a different kind of life in a wilderness, and I have to really come back and say, okay, so I'm Alexis, I'm in this location. You know, it takes a while, because sometimes for a while I don't even for a little bit know which, not that I don't know where I am, but it kind of feels like, okay, I could actually not leave my life as Alexis, but actually just live the other lifetime. And I can really feel it, and I can feel the details and the emotions and even the conversations that person, that other, you know, lifetime has, and even the sense, and it is so real and realistic. It has been a couple of times almost scary, because I just, you know, sometimes don't know what do I do with it. And then I realized how much I actually can get support from that lifetime, because, you know, all of the things that, for example, I haven't experienced in my life as Alexis, I can actually just download from that other lifetime. And also when I need some kind of assistance, or you know, help with stuff or newer things, because that person is so much younger and is more in touch with what's happening in the world now, he will just really support me, like, you know, I feel that support of that masculine, and kind of become really good friends. And I've kind of been as a support, and I support him when he needs something that perhaps he hasn't experienced, you know, in his lifetime. And this for me is just such a miracle now, because I've started with my own feminine and masculine being in balance, and, you know, dancing together. And then I've had those really wounding experiences with especially with males that were very close to me. And so I spent, you know, my masculine and feminine were hating each other at war for a couple of decades. So now that I've befriended those parts in me, it kind of feels like paradise to me. Like I regardless of what is happening in my day, or what is happening in the world, or what is happening around, it is just that incredible peace and cooperation and dance between my own masculine and feminine that can actually support each other and dance together and cooperate and work in all of their expressions. I didn't even realize how many expressions they have. Like, you know, when I feel my masculine, for example, I can feel the father, I can feel the brother, I can feel the friend, and also then comes the lover and the companion. and and the same as with women, you know, like I can feel a girl, a teenager, I feel myself as a young woman, and then as a middle-aged woman, and as a wise woman, the crone. And this kind of all of that, because they're cooperating, it feels like I'm one, this oneness of myself, meaning that all of these parts of me are working as one, not the same, but you know, as one, supporting each other, wishing well to each other, rather than that kind of horrible wounding war that I thought it was the only way to be, you know. And like when I sort of go out, or perhaps watch people interact online or something, and I can see there's so much still putting down one or the other, you know, like the way, for example, I don't know, in my country, the countries where I come from, like women can talk about men in such a negative, put down way, even the way they use the words, the names for it. To me, it's quite shocking now, because there's just such a respect within me, and those kind of things really enable me to dance in this life, to how can I say, to just enjoy just being present with me, with who I am, with, you know, all of it that I am as a woman, as the age that I am, location where I am. And it's like a whole new level of acceptance of self that I experience. Do you, like, have you had any of these kind of experiences yourself, or perhaps even with friends on the outside?
What you was saying, it was so beautiful. I was just listening to it, but I have to say that when I was born, my English is a little bit like strong, but when I born in this lifetime, I came with this very wounded masculine energy, very strong and very, very wounded. And of course, my feminine too was hiding, very, very wounded and hiding. And I have this kind of awareness that my mom and dad was kind of like, they was like mirroring this, my wounded masculine and feminine, because they were so wounded too. So now it's been so interesting when this kind of trauma has kind of coming back home. So there is no anymore rejecting my dad or my mother. So it's been for me very beautiful to start seeing that there was so much more, not only this kind of darkness and trauma in my childhood. It's very interesting because they are so wounded, these people, but they can also be expressing sometimes kindness. And I start remembering that I was so much enjoying when we were going like so much different countries with my dad, and seeing like traveling a lot when I was a kid. And he gave me this kind of experience, how it feels to be very abundant in money, that you have like everything. So I was enjoying that kind of experience when I was kid, even when there was this kind of trauma stuff. So it's been for me beautiful to start seeing that there is just so much more. And with my own feminine and masculine, I definitely feel they are now really coming together, and I can feel them.
And how they can, you know, dance and cooperate, which is kind of new. And like that to me is surprising, how, you know, how when I change, that really you can change the past, you know, like because before, when you are in that trauma, it's like you're frozen, and you have very small perception of things, very like your point of vision, how far you can see is very small, isn't it? Like you just continually replay those kind of traumatic experiences, while you know, life also at that time was so rich and so multi-layered, and every person had all these different kind of, so much more to them than just the wounded father to me, or the wounded mother to me, or the relationship they had between themselves, you know. And then you can really also see how, for example, you know, in the mother, how she was, let's say, a teenager who had big dreams, and how she had to accept all of the things that have happened, and perhaps forget the dreams, and all of the things also, like how much the parents, you know, they did so much, even though they were wounded, they did the best they could. And but before that, I couldn't see. And with the father as well, you know, all of his dreams, and all of the things in which ways he was able to still portray that love, even though he was very wounded. And it changes the whole dynamic, and it is able to like weave into that story the forgiveness, which is kind of like this sacred anointment. For me, it feels like that sacred oil, you know, that smooths everything, and then eventually it also waters, so that new things can grow, you know. And not only that, and then because it feels, then past feels safe, then I can actually then really get in touch with my own you know, the teenager self, the inner child self, all of these parts that then, as I bring them into the now moment, as I rather, you know, create this safe space where they actually too can thrive and blossom and enjoy. And they are the ones, those kind of parts, these child parts of myself, and all of the characters of my story that I loved, you know, I had this wonderful guy friends, you know, when I was 3 and 4 and 5. Oh my gosh, I loved them, you know, they were my best friends. And even they then can come back, because to me they were lost through all of that woundedness when I was sort of dealing with that trauma. And it's these kind of parts that can then bring that joy of life, that incredible, you know, because they bring that childhood innocence and playfulness, and that kind of attitudes toward life that then makes me feel thrilled about life, that makes me feel in love with life, in love with exploring, also fearless, you know, fearless of trying new things, of falling, of trying again, you know, because being as a master, it's just that all of these kind of ideas that go out of your vocabulary, you know, to make a mistake, or to fall, or to fail. It's not that everything works out. You just you get a very different attitude to these things, so that you don't really make mistakes. You just say, oh, this doesn't really work. Oh, no problem. Boom, gone, you know. But instead, while before, let's say if I made a mistake, I would attach all these different things. So, okay, so if I made a mistake, then I have to also feel like I'm a failure. I have to feel down. I have to start feeling depressed. I have to beat myself up. I have to put all, you know, there were all of these other things attached to just trying life and seeing that something doesn't work, you know, where all of the other garbage, really, you let go of that, then you just have this freedom to just try and test and play, you know. And making a mistake really means nothing. It's meaningless, you know. So this is one of those things that really surprised me. I didn't realize that this is how things will work, you know. Like I thought, I kind of had an idea that, okay, so once you know, if you become a master or something, is that you stop making mistakes. But it is just that the attitude or that perspective goes away. It's not that everything works. In the long term, it all works out fine, you know, because it's like a child. They fall many times before they can walk, you know. So in the long term, they can walk, but day by day basis, it's just, oh, you fall and sometimes you cry a little bit or maybe not, and you move on, you know. But life becomes so much simpler in a simplicity way, because all of these things that are part of life, natural and normal part of life, that I used to attach, and the culture and society attaches all these garbage with it. Once you get rid of that, then it becomes simple, because you don't lose any time in wasting it by feeling bad, by feeling a failure, by feeling, you know, all of these things that really don't make any sense. Not only they don't make sense, but they're very pointless, because they don't really make you feel, they don't really make you do anything. You do things despite feeling those things, you know. But some people, they think, or they say, or they teach, you know, in the mass consciousness, they teach that if you're really harsh and disciplined and you beat yourself up, you actually then do things. But it's not. You do them despite that, you know. The fact that you still do things is a testament to how brilliant you really are, and how eternal and how unbreakable you are. Because despite all of those self-beating and putting oneself down, you do these things, not because of them, you know. So when you, and this is like when you self-love continually, instead of using that kind of language, or feeling that, okay, if that happens, then I have to do this, you realize the freedom that anything that happens, it doesn't have automatic consequences or automatic things that follow, that I can choose what I do with everything, you know. I can choose my perspective. I can choose how I feel about anything. It's not anything predetermined. And that is so empowering and so freeing. And also it releases a lot of gunk, useless gunk. And then you can just go about the day really enjoying, because once you stop beating yourself up, then not only that you stop attracting people that will do that, you actually recognize when other people, you become real lover of self. And once you are a lover of self, you recognize when someone is trying to put you down, and you don't anymore allow that. So not only that people automatically go out because you resonate differently, but you just simply don't allow anyone to treat you bad. And so, you know, sometimes people say, well, not sometimes, many times, they will say, oh, you know, like, for example, let's say people that keep attracting, for example, I don't know, an abusive partner or something like that, whether male or female, you know, they're both similar. And they will say, oh, I just didn't know that he was like that, or I just didn't know that she was like that. And that happens 2 times, 3 times. But actually, when you really look at it, that is actually not true. They knew exactly what the next partner was like. That is why they picked them, you see. So they didn't pick someone else. They keep picking the same type of person. So if they keep picking the same type of person, it's logical that they know what they're like. You see, because otherwise, out of billions of people, you could pick another type. You know what I mean? But so the trick really is not to say that, oh, I didn't know that I picked that type of a person or partner or friend or whatever. It is to actually look, why am I attracted to this type of person? And then you are really on that road of self-empowering, because then if you realize that you pick that you know how to recognize that, then you actually, it's in your power and in your ability then to start picking at someone different. But if you're just victim of all these circumstances, you know, that it just happens to have 3, 4, 5 people, partners, they are the same, very similar, you know, in their actions, then you just feel victimized. So this coming out of victimhood is very multi-layered. So it's, yes, that because you feel self-love, you recognize different things. And then another thing is, yes, because you vibrate differently, people that will go for victim games don't even notice you. You become invisible to them and you become unattractive to them, which is a good thing, you know, because they're still looking for someone to play that kind of game. But it also means that you become so aware of how you are creating this, what is driving you, you know, what kind of parts of yourself are choosing these kind of games. And that's where, this is what it means to keep enlightening and bringing unconscious into conscious, which means becoming more and more aware, because this life really is about, you know, becoming really aware of the creator that you are and how you create, you know, because the physical reality is this accurate depiction of you, and it's the you know, you have to then recognize what the landscape means, what its symbols mean to you personally, not some kind of you know, like that you can read a book, but what they mean to you. So when this happens, what that means to you, and in that kind of process, we just become more and more aware and self-empowered in that, in this kind of expression, you know, that you become a creator that is conscious, a creator that becomes aware how you choose potentials, that you choose how you pick them, what, you know, why you pick them, and also how, with all of the things that are happening, how you can love, how you forgive, how you be compassionate, you know, so that your day just becomes this juicy, flavorsome, loving, enjoyable day, because you know that, because you treat yourself with self-love, and so does your reality, and so does everyone else. And even if you kind of go and meet someone, let's say you go in a shop and someone has a bad day, and they're rude to you or something, it doesn't hurt anymore, you know, because you can really separate that. You have that boundary and you separate and you realize, wow, they are having a bad day, and I feel compassion for them, rather than, let's say, when you're wounded, you feel, oh, poor me, look how everyone is being rude to me, you see. But then it's like, no, it's actually got nothing to do with me. It is they're having a bad day, and perhaps, you know, they're having a terrible life, suffering and all of that, and you can feel compassion. And when you're like that, then nothing that anyone else does can be wounding anymore, because you own your own, you're responsible for your own self, and you put what others do, what is belongs to them, squarely on their shoulder. And so then that's another layer of safety that you have in your life. So it's quite it's quite a beautiful, incredible journey. Do you have some experiences like that as well?
Yes, well, of course, I have been playing so many roles roles here. Victim. I have been so deep in the victim game, so I have been attracting many saviors, and I have been also very abusive of myself too.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that it's definitely very hard to face your own abusiveness and with, kind of face what you have been doing others, and like forgive. It's a very difficult process, but once it really come to the place of self-love, it just opens up a whole new loving landscape where is not anymore this kind of guiltiness and stuff that hold you like. But I think this kind of weird thing that everybody have been so nice to me like years, even when I have been going very deep integration and feeling like a shit, everyone is just so nice to me. And I'm like, what? How these people can be so nice everywhere to me? Like they are really, it's a wonderful. And of course, like nowadays when I'm more open, people are even more, they smile me everywhere, and they are just so nice to me. It is really nice, and I have to say I really look forward to interact with others, because it's been very hard to me these past years, because the fear so and the shame has been so strong in me. So I have been kind of like this. So I really wait that I can really go out to the world and meet different kind of people and create together. And yes, I have really big passion to be in this life and really experience now as a
Because the last few years that they've been so deep, hasn't it? That there was no energy really even to go and even consider these kind of things.
Yes, absolutely. And the integration work, it's been so full on for me. So it's been it's been hard to be outward.
But you, I mean, the all of the stuff that you've done, you know, like that, even that when I first met you, that I've witnessed in your energy, like it's quite miraculous as to how much you've been able to transform and change yourself and your energy, and you're quite a different person now.
Yes, I think it's absolutely a miracle, because I am there is so much like resistance also in me, and even that it's like happening, and so it feels like a miracle to be here where I am right now, despite all resistance and deep suffering and very deep layers of all kind of self-hatred stuff. So yes.
And how, like, do you find that do you think it's cultural as well, all of these things that you've taken on as from culture, or do you think was your personal? And how, like, do you find that your friends or people that know you have noticed that all of the different changes within you, or your family?
Well, I think I have been also taking a lot other stuff too, like carrying like also others too, like now we are carrying all these kind of experiences. But I'm not I'm not contact with my family. My mother is only, but we are speaking so like couple of time year. So and people that I know, they don't say anything, but of course they can notice it. And I sometimes when I'm with people, they just start opening up themselves too. And but I have to say I don't have so much people in my life.
Yeah, because me too. I've lost touch with a lot, but I must, like, in the last a couple of years, because of the work that I do, all of these kind of I get in touch with a lot. I mean, and a lot of people get in touch with me. So more and more, and this year, even more and more in all sorts of ways. It's quite surprising, and it's very, very beautiful. So, because you mentioned that you do want to do this kind of work, there are so many different, I would recommend to anyone, because there are so many different, not for those people that are called, that feel that passion, to actually witness someone change. That is quite incredible, and to actually be part of because many times people meet you in this way when they're going through the most deepest or the most darkest, or perhaps some diseases or body issues and stuff, and so it's like a really privilege, because they sort of like invite someone else into their life through that time when they're perhaps going through the hardest time in their life. And so it's like a really privilege to feel that trust, and to then interact in that space, and then to also see them, how they really make the changes, and how they self-empower, and how they transform life in miraculous ways. So it's that, and also just people, so when you are a little bit more public, they just will write, people that perhaps never worked personally, perhaps they haven't felt that they okay to show themselves, or maybe they have family members that they perhaps they're very religious or whatever, you don't know the situation in their life, and they will just all of a sudden send an email, wow, I've been watching what you're doing and it's been inspiration and blah blah blah. So you never really know how you affect others in this way, and perhaps it's just perhaps like something that you write, and something and you think, well, why do I feel that inspiration to write something? But it just works in these incredible ways, and perhaps people don't even feel comfortable to publicly like or comment, because maybe they're family members, or because of the work they're doing, like not everyone is free in that sense. But they still take this huge amount, from that. So I'm continually really amazed with all this work, and all of the things that happen, and all of the people that I meet, and all the doors that open, and most of this is done very privately, in private spaces. So every day can be quite different, every day it is very, very different. So and now, because we have this technology, you can just do it in so many different ways. So have you kind of had some ideas to how you want to do it? Would it be online, or would it be more like in person to person, in a physical way, or have you had some ideas?
Well, I think it would be here on Finland, like my own language, because I don't have so good English skills. So it would be here on Finland. So I think I need to first just start to speak, like create some kind of Instagram account. I have already created that, but now I need to just keep on posting there videos where I can share this kind of integration work and stuff what's coming up from me. So I think it's a first step, and then I would like to also work like a one-on-one kind of way when it's time. And also I would like to write a book. I'm not so good writing, but I think I still want to write a book. And yeah, I think there is one lady here on Finland who is Sampra, and I really love her so much, and she's doing this kind of work, but she's doing it with all kind of people that someone they are not aware this soul kind of connection, but she's doing like a self-love stuff kind of work with this kind of new awareness. So she's like there's something like she's my inspiration like that. I will so
I think I know who you mean. I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, she's so lovely, and I have been working with her too.
And she dances, doesn't she? She dances.
I don't think she doesn't dance.
With herself, with like just as an expression of joy. I think she sometimes posts, no? She posts some videos of dancing sometimes on Facebook.
No.
No?
I am not her Facebook friend, but
Oh.
I don't think so.
What is her name? What is her name?
Anna.
Sorry, say that again.
Anna.
Oh, okay. No, actually, that's a different Finnish person, different Finnish Shambra. Anna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. But then there's another one that you know, she also does post like these kind of videos, and so there's quite a few of you in Finland, I think, because it's like a very important area of land, isn't it? You know, that especially now with all of the things that are happening, so it's a very important location.
Yeah.
Well, I found with this, you know, like that you have certain ideas. Like I had certain ideas about this thing, but they change a lot once you really start. Like because you see some things, you have an idea, and then you try, and it takes you into another thing, and then you realize, oh, it doesn't work because of this, or because of technology, or because so for me it's really important to be flexible and changeable all the time, and also because everything keeps changing so quickly now, and people are changing. But I think, like, I feel, and you know, other people that I speak with as well, they feel, you know, now this year, especially middle of the year, there's more and more new people really are interested in real experiences. You know, they can now see through all the fakeness of, you know, like you have all these celebrities, and nothing wrong with celebrities, but you know, when they just continually post on Instagram or TikToks and stuff, and it's all fake, you know, the filters and the and these kind of things, and they can feel it. They want something real, something alternative. Okay, we have another person coming in, so I will just. I think maybe they mixed the time. Hello, Doris. I think we can't hear you and we can't see you yet. There she is. Hello. Ida and I, we've been talking already for an hour.
Oh, really? I lost the time.
Yes.
But
you found it. But you found it. Yeah, you found it. That's okay, because we had another person join, and they joined for 3 seconds, and then they left, and they haven't joined. And I know that another person signed up, but they haven't showed yet. I've checked all of the dates. I've checked the dates, and we think, Ida and I think it's because it's solar flares playing with everyone's mind. So.
Yeah. And you know, I had a chat with Tom yesterday, and he said, "Oh, why? I thought it's on Saturday." I said, "I did send you." Oh, but today my daughter has a concert going on. she's drumming, so of course I have to go there. But next time, if it is on Saturday, I said, okay, I won't.
But because remember, we changed to Friday because we thought, okay,
Yeah.
let's see if it's more suitable for other people, you know, for more people. And now it's back to Saturday. For me, it's okay whether weekday or weekend, because
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I try to do things on the weekend because I'm thinking, okay, so maybe people are more at home then because they don't have work. But yeah, so maybe we try. What do you think, Ida? We try for you, does it matter? Is it Saturday or Friday?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter either.
For me, not either. So yeah, Hans Christian is missing today.
Yeah, he's missing. Yeah, and then there was another gentleman that booked, and yeah, so he hasn't come. So I don't know. Maybe he's changed time. I've checked the date. So on all of the things that I've put, I think the dates are and the time is
But-
correct. So, but who knows?
You know,
Who knows?
I permanently had 1 o'clock at our time here in my mind, but this was
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Now we have summer, but so it doesn't matter.
It
so
doesn't matter. Yeah,
a
yeah.
glorious chat with Ida.
Yeah, we had a wonderful chat, and now we keep going. We just keep going because we're just in this lovely, beautiful conversational space. So how is your life been, dear Doris?
Oh.
Where do you start?
You know, if you would have asked me this morning, I would have said I'm not able to participate. It's as I wrote to you in a conversation with Tanya, Tanya mentioned as well, things come so quickly to you, and I realized this. You know, my sister was here for her birthday last week with my brother-in-law, and she brought me things along. I thought, well, I should buy them. She couldn't know. She said, well, you know, I've this and this and this. I don't need it. Maybe it's something else for you. So it's just this experience. It comes to you without thinking. And then the other thing was, I was a little bit late for preparing all because I did a lot of cooking and so on for her birthday. The night before I couldn't sleep, so I went up a little bit too late in the morning. And then I said to myself, okay, I can expand time. They arrive here once I'm ready. So finally they came after 11 o'clock and said, well, you know, we don't know, our nanny didn't work out because we went down to town. We passed by your house and we went down to town. And within myself, I laughed. I knew this was so creative because the moment I thought I'm ready, they arrived over here. So these are small everyday things, but they happen permanently. It just comes to me. But on the other side, what also came to me, I did. I don't want to say suppress, but I just let it my body issues, and so it's all fine. It was in 2018. I'm fine, and so on and so on. And now with bringing it all to the soul, to all the wounds and stuff like this, there was so much buried I didn't know before, so much. And this all showed up now in the recent day, and especially today with my body. So first I was once 2 days ago, I thought, oh gosh, it's restarting. I got it for a few seconds. I got shocked, and I said, no, I trust my soul. I go within. And it will just work out. And it does. I mean, I have to be patient a little bit, but to realize no matter what's happening in your life, it does work out. And this gave me so much satisfaction. And yeah,
It's I kind of feel like, you know, if it's not yet worked out, if something hasn't worked out really, it just means it hasn't the story isn't finished yet. You know, I'm still in the middle of it, kind of in this way, like, because like as a creator, really, I mean, we make like mistakes in a way that we fall down, you know, that kind of thing, and we pick up and we keep learning to walk or whatever it is. But if it's not satisfaction, because all of the things, all of the stories, all of the feelings, all of the experiences, their role is always to come back home to the soul. So and once you're in a soul again, you know, then that's that wonderful feeling. It is a happy ending. So if you're not yet in a happy ending with any of these issues, and not you, but a person, I mean, it just means it's not ending yet, you know, and that's such a satisfying way of looking at things for me. You know, it just means, oh, I'm not satisfied with this yet. It's not finished yet. You know, there's still then a way to go.
It was, I didn't think about it at all. I didn't realize it. But well, I can say it's cancer showed up and on the here around the eyes. Very painful, and I looked in the internet. What can I do? What's the reason? What's behind this kind of white skin cancer? So on a spiritual page, I found, well, yeah, you did suppress your feelings, your emotions, your wounds when you were rejected. And this started already in my childhood with my older sister. Later on, when I got married from the ex-family of my ex-husband, and things like, and then it came. Oh, I said, okay, show up, tell me, show me, what do I have to accept? What do I have to integrate? And this was like an explosion, and it was in my subconsciousness also pressed. I really wasn't aware about it. I was so sure I did heal all my wounds, but it wasn't true. So this morning I said thank you to my soul to bring it all up, to be realized, to be recognized, and then letting go. So and I mean, I knew cancer is connected with not loving yourself, things like this. So yeah, as I mentioned before, first I got shocked, and then I knew I get over it. It's
and now has it moved? Like, has it moved away? Has it moved?
Not really. No, not. I mean, it became better. The last days it was also swollen over here. And with a lot of pain. I woke up with some pain this morning, but now during the morning I felt now it's reducing because I permanently went into my presence. I went connecting with my soul, with the master, asking the master to take off the gravity of all that stuff. And I want to expand. I choose to expand within my expanded orbit. So I felt it. It was not only here on the eyes. It was all that stuff I've been carrying around for years, meningitis and all that stuff. So I felt it in my entire head. It wasn't pain, but I felt it. It was very strong. And I only say thank you for really now getting it all in balance. Yeah. So I'm here and I'm happy.
There is quite a bit of this, you know, cancer within the Schomburg community at the moment.
I realized, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that are working through this at the moment, and it like there's so many. It is such a potent time for the person, because like the next level of all the masks fall off, isn't it? Like you know, for the people who have chosen, I mean, there are many layers, could be ancestral, could be taking on mass consciousness things. And it also is especially, it's especially if we're in the cultures or we've been born much earlier, that we've been born into such a difficult energy that the default way of our body, of our energy, of our cells has been to fight, because it's that battle. Ida and I, we were just talking about that, the masculine and feminine battle, and how it's coming into this beautiful inner dance and into this oneness and into the support and friendship and camaraderie. Yeah. And so the cancer cells are basically just cells that are rebelling, they feel that through the anger, they're turning against, because we know each one of us have billions and billions of free cells, individual organisms that choose to come together as one and doing all these different organs and work as one whole community, and then you have these few cells that they go into war with all the other cells. And so it's a reflection of that. And it could also be just mass consciousness, but it's many times it's all of these things, and these energies are just bringing this stuff up, but it is such a potent time where you can really do these kind of miracles and clear, because the light body is also embodying. And so that too, whatever it comes to, because I don't know if you know, but all of us, we have some cancer cells, all of us, but where did they trigger to actually start multiplying? That's a different thing, but all of us have some in the old bodies. Yes. They don't trigger. Sometimes they trigger, sometimes they don't trigger. But now with this light body, it is just really flushing out all of these different bits. And we have, sometimes it's not even the need to find a reason. Is it mass consciousness? Is it ancestry? Is it some, it doesn't really matter. It's just like what you've done. You bring in the master, you bring in the soul, and you feel that, and you feel that flushing out, and you also can transform and feel the real transformations of this, because we are now really in the spaces of where we are down to business. We really are down to business. Am I a master or am I not a master? So am I owning this? So if I'm owning this, then what is a miracle is possible, then the pain, you can realize, wow, body pain is just an energy pattern, like you can really allow these kind of incredible realizations to be real. Or you can, a person can still say, okay, maybe it's not real, but the potential and the energy for it is here to really realize that. And also another thing is for people, that have chosen to really go all the way, meaning that, you've decided that, okay, I am a person that I've chosen, I'm going to befriend the mortality of human life, death, and all of these things, because I'm going to leave. When I leave, it's going to be on the day of my choice, and it is going to be when I take my body with me, and then I realize that ability where I can then manifest by free will, rather than do a reincarnation and be born again. That for Shaumbra, for people within these circles, it is a potential that is very real. But it does mean people sometimes don't realize that, when one chooses that actually then is not always the most pleasantest of paths, because then you have to then befriend death, and then you have to become friend with the veil. How it works. Not that I have to die, but it means that you just invite it close and invite all of the fears, the human fears, to do with that, to go. And you have to then transform and be befriended to such a degree that you become a master of it, rather than it being a master of you. And so for some people, you know, let's say having this kind of scare with this cancer or any of this kind of thing, it just brings up all of these things. And so it is the incredible potent time, because not only, even more than before, what is not important just leaves straight away, you know, like when you I was actually just talking with a lady about this a couple of days ago. We were talking about this. But like when you know, when I was bitten by a snake and I thought that maybe it was poisonous, and there were a couple of hours before I was at the hospital, it was straight away in that instant I was put into kind of what I call the land of the dead, really, meaning that all of a sudden I was in a different place than because I may not have wake up next day, you know, when you have those near-death experiences, and then everything else was unimportant, and all of a sudden I was incredibly alive, because all the muck, all the bullshit of my life was gone, you know, because it's like, okay, what is important to me? This, and this is not many things, but I was so incredibly alive. And I didn't even at that time realize how much effect it had on my life. It permeated through my life, because that was then underlying all of the choices that I made, because I experienced what it's like to be mortal, you know. And because most of the people, and that's not Shambhala, but most of the people, let's say, go through life in a fantasy land, not that good fantasy that we're playing with now, but in that where they think, oh, I can postpone everything to someday, you know, because life is just like forever. But it's not true, you know. The human life is temporary. And so when you are really aware of that, your decision making and your choosing of potentials becomes so incredibly potent, and you realize that no, you get this power, like self-empowerment inside, that you realize, no, I can't postpone things, and I have the power and I have fearlessness to choose now, you know, because I'm aware of so many of these kind of things. So it's a really, when you and I know you know all of this, I'm kind of just bringing it out into words. It's such a time of potency, and it's such a time of incredibly decisive decision making, and to really bring that master. It's like, you know, no more playing. I have chosen, I have created this from a soul level, and this is now it, you know, like I choose to move, to flush, or to transform these cells, or, you know, and talk to them. And it's like, okay, hang on a minute, you have chosen to be in a body that is ascending, in the body where the master lives, and you have no choice but to transform, you know. And then that, any fear or any of these things, when you become so intimate with these kind of cells, then leaves. Like that was also my experience when I had that tropical virus, you know, like I was talking to it. It gave me such incredible pain. I thought I'm just about to die, but you know, like, because it was that tropical virus that for some people of my age, they actually can have a year of where they sleep the whole, they just bedridden, or even never recover, and they always have that tiredness for the rest of their life. And I said, no, this is not my life. I'm going to enjoy. My body is ascending. My cells are allowing the body of light. And you, virus, you transform with me, because you've come into this body, you know, but you didn't know what was waiting for you. That's one thing. And then the next level, of course, is realizing that all is my energy. So even if there's this virus, I have nothing to fear. What do I have to fear? Because it's still my energy. And then just being able to tap into that level of your soul where those kind of decisions are made, you know, where you make those kind of decisions of these. So there are so many things that you can actually focus on in this, you know, where and transform and transmute, and it's potent as hell, like really.
This was a very important experience for me too in the recent weeks, let's say, after the opening of Heaven's Cross, especially then, because everything became so clear. And I realized also, when you were talking about soul wives, and whenever you were talking about making decisions, also Tanya, then I became aware that I didn't, before it was more, I was, okay, yeah, just let it come to you. But that's not, it's, I realized I have to decide myself. And I decide, I go into the focus of every day what I want, what I also I want to move. I want. It's my decision. I feel it. It's really there, and it was kind of a funny the recent weeks. It's just now, well, let's say 10 days with this. With the diseases, but before I really was soaring, I was flying, and all the other realms, I felt they were starting to integrate, and it was so beautiful. And then I came to this point. Okay, here are some blockages, but as you did too. I also spoke with myself. And I as one had once a near-death experience where I just was floating away in such a beauty and calmness and peace with myself. So when things like this happen, also this morning, I remembered this and said, okay, if I go, I go. It doesn't matter. If my soul wants me to stay, I stay. I do accept. But my choice is to stay here in health and in wealth, letting come of all my creations, all the potentials are so nearby now too. But I have just stepping out of all the of the old. But once again, it's so important to accept them, to recognize, to talk with them, to love them, because they are there, because they were, as well, they weren't loved before. But otherwise, everything is fine. So Ida, now it's up to you.
I'm going to listen to you.
Ida is floating in her self-love. She's actually made incredible transformations in the last, what would you say, in the last year or so? From a really traumatized person.
I think last month, it's been big. After Heaven's Cross, it's been very, very big. I think so.
Alexis, I met Ida in Tomar in September 21. It was.
Oh, really? So okay, so you know each other.
Others, yeah.
And Ida at this time was really, you were traumatized still.
Yeah, it was so hard to be there. I didn't understand how hard it would be me, but it was like it was just, of course, it was very beautiful and loving experience, but it was still very horrible to me because I was all the time, there was something to trigger me, and the fear was so.
Yeah, I remember when we were sitting at dinner the other night with at Tanya's birthday, and I suppose I may talk about it here in this small round. You started to cry because Barbara was there with her little baby, and I perceived it, but it was Gosha who went to you because I had her in my arms. You were sitting next to me, and I could feel you felt the love. All this, how she called the daughter of Barbara. It doesn't matter. I perceive too that you felt that this small, wonderful child, baby, gets all the love from her family, from her mother, from Joanna, from everybody, and you probably didn't get all this love as a child. And
really, it's so beautiful that you are saying this, because I have no idea what was going on then. I just like crumbled down and I couldn't handle the situation. It was like full on. But now you are saying it touches my heart.
And it was then Gosha who came to you, who embraced you, and she felt it as well. But I had a little, how she called, the little girl from Barbara. I had her in my arms, and it was so beautiful. But and then you got a virus there in Tomar.
Yeah.
And I perceive this virus really brought you back to your wonderful true self. Is it possible?
Was it a coronavirus? Did you have a coronavirus? Oh,
Yeah, but it was very easy for my body. But the experience was very interesting because I was so full on fear, and I was hospital in Lisbon. Yeah, and I was so like, I'm not gonna survive, I'm going to die. And the fear was so intense that it was, then Tanya was speaking to me and breathing with me, and she was, oh my God, she was so loving, and she was ready to take me in her home. But
I know.
But she said to me that she's feeling that there is some kind of opportunity to me, that the hospital will manage the place where I can recover. And then I was okay. And then it just unfolded so beautifully. And it was very interesting.
Yeah. But you know what I remember too? There's Alexis, there's a space in Fatima. We met first in Fatima, and we went with Tanya and Joanna to Olive Hain, Olive Hain, how do you call it? An area with very, very old olive trees. And it's next to the place where the children Fatimas were born, did live. And we walked around, and Ida was sitting somewhere in a space, and me was sitting a little bit further down. And there I felt the olive tree. I became the olive tree. This was such an experience. And then I looked around to you, and I saw that you were also merging with the earth, with the beauty of these really old olive trees. Yeah.
Because olive trees was where Yeshua did quite a few of his sermons, and he used olive trees in his analogies, didn't he?
Yeah. And olive trees, I never experienced a place like this. And I know Tanya and Joanna, they go very often there to this place because it's so special. That is, and not touched so much by many humans. It's really the natural flow of these trees, the force, the strength, the beauty, the love and everything. At this space, I really felt nature like never before. This was really fantastic. Yeah. So yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? And now you meet again, you know, in a different kind of circumstances, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's so beautiful. And I have to say that I'm so thankful that I have been able to be with all these wonderful masters that are so like, they have so high consciousness people, when I was not conscious almost at all. I was just I because I have been on Tanya's groups with Doris. It's the experience, it's been like I have a whole different life, and then I come to the group and I'm like, "Oh, these people, what, where they have all these very different way of being." But it's been so helpful that I have been present, because now it just sink in all these things we have been talking, and it's wonderful, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, you should come once to Europe. You know, that's what I perceive permanently. And you know, my imagination. You know, I've been in this group sometimes before, and always when we were only three, it was more intimate than with some more people. And I do have these imaginations too. And yesterday I asked myself,
and it's always just perfect too, isn't it? I enjoy the small groups too. Like, you know, like if there was 10 of us or something, we wouldn't be able to really talk.
No, not really. Yeah, and I mean, Ida knows Tom too, because from Tom Lemot, you know, I have we have a very good contact in between. He wanted to come today too, so he said, "Oh, fine, next time." I mean, with him we could be very personal too, but I know not with many others. So,
But we like people that are attracted, you know, they very much belong here, and they're you know, they're very quiet perhaps, but once they come, it's just like, wow, it's just a beautiful addition. So you know, the right people always are attracted and come, and we always have like these beautiful conversations, don't we? Like that's just perfect, like, you know, with what you share, the two of you share, and also with what we're dealing with, and also the joy that we feel regardless of what is happening at the moment, at this crazy time.
And you know, no matter what, I wake up really joyful in the morning. I feel this innate joy. I always had it ingrained within me, but it improved, it expanded since Heaven's Cross, really. Yeah, and yesterday I asked myself, because of all what Ida was mentioning, it was so beautiful in Toma when we met there, just the right people at the right space at the right time. And it was also so fulfilling for me. I'd never had a gathering like this before. And this is my really my intention, to create these places where just people can come around. I got another one in Switzerland.
And you have another one in the tropics, in the islands. You have a number of them.
Yeah, I know, and I feel that it's called Loloma in Fiji, this island, and Loloma means love. And it's when I watched this video about Loloma, I cried. They are singing these Polynesian songs, and as long as I was in Polynesia, sometimes it was a little bit too much for me. I didn't like them always. And now it's kind of coming back to Polynesia, listening to this song. I just cry. It's so beautiful. And then, yeah, there are the two spaces, the other one in Switzerland. On a lake behind the mountains, everything is there for a kind of this gathering we experienced before in Toma, just with no agenda, just coming together and then enjoying life. And I feel this is so important right now. And I ask myself, is it my mission to bring Theos to Earth, or is it just building a bridge? So the answer was, yeah, it's beautiful if you start with others together, these bridges, to bring the energy. You can't bring Theos on Earth, but you can bring the energies from Theos on earthly spaces and living there with people who are with conscious people, living there and showing the world, okay, yeah, we are here, we are radiating our new consciousness, our new light, we are radiating and loving, and yeah, just being here, enjoying.
For me, you know, I was planning last year to go and it didn't happen. And then this year, I can't imagine sitting on a plane for 2 days. It's just at the moment, no. But I think like when we're out of this rest kind of crazy solar flares period, I think it will, because at the moment is really that time to I was just saying before, you know, how sometimes I've been sleeping like 15, 18 hours. And just when all these flares come, there's this particular tiredness, and I just know, okay, so now I have to take a nap. And like I never felt before this kind of flare so strongly, you know, because they've been happening. But at the moment, there's just this incredible time of transformation, and I just have to go and take a nap, and I just can't imagine having to deal with you know, and it just hasn't really happened, it hasn't felt. But who knows, maybe August comes and it will be, because at the moment things can really change like this, you know, bang bang bang, and all of a sudden, you know. but it's kind of not even with planning. Like it's been even funny in a cute way to be putting together events, because my mind just doesn't work, you know. So it's like I have to just, okay, so there's 2 hours, all right, my mind is present, quickly, let's do everything, update website, update this date, update that, because like before I had to put poor Ida on hold because I went to check when I put the right times and the right, because I can't trust my mind at the moment, because it's just like, where is it gone? So into some wilderness, you know. And I'm just staring at dates and numbers, and I'm like, what do they mean? It's all Chinese to me, you know. And then come back and oh yeah, oh, that's what I mean. And a minute later, it's gone again. It's a really funny kind of struggle at the moment to even do this kind of basic mind because it just goes on a holiday, like it just boom, 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 you know. And so I think like it's not going to last forever, but at the moment that's it's just how it is, and we just have to float and float with it. And just I'm just grateful that I can, you know, because all of a sudden there's this time where I don't have to do anything. I can just be in that wonderful space, sometimes even in between the sleep and awakefulness, and I just dream and imagine and feel and allow heart to open. And you know, it's just beautiful. I can spend hours and hours, and I know that this time will pass, but at the moment that's pretty much the extent of my life.
I wasn't so much aware about the solar flares that when you had the conversation with Tanya, where you both were talking just about forgetting everything, I thought, oh yeah, yes, I can't remember anything. I don't know which day it is. And I always, very often, very suddenly, I know I have to take a nap. I can't, I get dizzy. I can't stand up, nearly can't stand on my feet anymore.
Yes,
and then
yes.
I have to lie down, integrate.
And that's when either solar flares or the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance has been spiking every single day, but just out of the blue, all into red, full on. And today, yes, 12, we've got so big solar flares, really strong ones that can even interfere with technology and stuff incoming. And yeah, it's that feeling, very particular feeling that tiredness, and it's just like, oh, you know, I'm solar flare drunk. Like, let's go into the bed. You know.
So this is also my impression that all what's coming now, let's say from a solar flares or from within a consciousness going around, it is very much connected to new technology. I felt the other day, I was also in kind of a nap, and I felt that my entire body became very lightful, also light in a way, like being on a cloud, which is green, covering me just so lovingly. And when I took my finger in the green, oh, it was just delicious, and it came with suddenly all over me the new energy, new technology. I would say kind of knowingness, a potential within me. It just showed up for some minutes maybe, that gave me the knowingness. It's all here. It's already there, and it's just now it's the time to expand, to explore it, to access it, and it's I always say, wow, wow, wow. What an adventure.
You know, when you consider, like, even let's say 30 years ago or 40 years ago, you know, like, to actually even consider that something like this can be possible, we just didn't even think. We had no idea. We couldn't even imagine. It was just such a different time then, you know. So, but now we're here now, like me too, you know, like I feel that I can, how can I say, you know, when you mention that yes, there is a time and space where you allowing, meaning that the human level of part of self and the mind level part of self allows and just welcomes everything that comes to the door, you know, and just that there is that time. And then as you keep allowing and expanding, you come to that space within yourself, within your being, where next level decisions are made. And then when you own that part of yourself, that, you know, that level of your soul self, then you realize that actually you are the one that needs to make those choices of potentials. So you see, both are true. And then still, when you're making the choices, part of you still then needs to allow them into their life, and that part will always just be allowing, because at that part there isn't that level of choices. So, you know, it really just, it means it's important to become aware as to to become aware of your different levels of self, you know, because different rooms or different layers where different kind of decisions are made, and then in that space you realize, because some people, you know, they get confused with that, and it is at times confusing until you actually become clear and something clicks and it's like, so that's what that is, you know, because they say, oh, but they say allow, yes, when you're in that level, but next level, then yes, you definitely choose the potential and then you implement those potentials, you know, which also, of course, then meaning that you allow this new your energy to repattern according to, you have to then allow it for old to wash away, to go into neutral, to wash away and undissolve, go into neutral, and then these new patterns to for energy that is neutral to restructure self. So it's like a very full-on experiences with these, and it's these kind of levels now. I find that they are actually quite available now. The human self is like, oh, I want to just be a little bit lazy and just not do anything. I don't want to know about all these levels and stuff, you know. But then when you can feel all of the new possibilities, then that part also can get excited, you know. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that's possible. But for me, I'm having some very unusual experiences that I can't even that much describe, but it has to also do a lot with new levels for me of being vulnerable and just open to open to my own self, to my soul self, so that okay, here, come and just feel and stir up whatever still is hard and needs to move, and let's just feel that and let it go. You know, to clean out, to cleanse, to just really let go into that flowing state. I don't know how else to describe it, really. And mainly it just means a lot of sleeping, a lot of dancing, a lot of dancing. I dance every day, few times a day, quite a few times, very full on, like full on dancing. And I've discovered so much new, amazing music that I didn't know existed. Somehow it's like Ida said, you know, we've been in this bubble of disintegration, and so much has passed me by. I thought I knew a lot, but I keep discovering these new things, and I'm thinking, wow, that's from like 2014, that's from like 2009. I didn't know it existed, but it's new to me, so I enjoy it.
I do have a little different difficult times with walking sometimes and moving, because my body became terribly tired because of all that stuff that's going on within, and also what I feel very intensively is the light body coming in. It's really intensely coming in. But if I do move a little bit or make some exercises, I get tired afterwards. But I told my soul and my master, I have a lot of things to experience. I have so many ideas, and therefore I need health and I need wealth. I need a rejuvenated body, a wider body. And I think I'm in this transition right now. And my body requires just to be quiet. Not, I mean, I go outside for walks. We have now, I don't know if we can see, springtime with it's all fresh and green.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful. It's just
And
that
so,
fresh, it's that fresh greenery, isn't it? Oh,
it's so beautiful now. And you know, we have many small waterfalls and creeks and things like this. And as we have a lots of rain right now, they are all singing and dancing. They are dancing. I love to stand there or sit next by them, because they are a few that dance. But I myself, I can walk a few kilometers, but it's not like last year or 2 years ago. But I deeply know it's just this kind of transformation. I even can dance for myself. It's when Ida, you certainly remarked it when we were dancing in Tom. I love to dance before, but I felt at this time that my bones, that it's not stretched. I'm not in a good mood for dancing. And now I find, okay, it's different. I could do it now. But the force is not there.
the force is not with you. The force is not with you. What about you? What about you, Ida? Have you been dancing?
I love dancing, but I haven't been dancing now. But I have this. I got this vision because I was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was invited to watch some dance performance, and I went there, and oh my God, it was beautiful. But there was one dancer. She was so different than others. She was like a full awake, and she was so free. She was dancing so beautifully, so freely. She was like very intense, but so gentle and loving and playful. And I felt like, oh my God, this is me, this is my energy. She's dancing, dancing and expressing my energy. And I was like, oh my God, this is my choice. I want to become this. This is my choice. And I was like, tears were coming. And I was like, oh my God, could I be so free like she? And it was like, yes, I made that choice. And now I understand that after that, it was full-on integration, and it's been only a couple of weeks ago when this happened. And I was very deep in the integration, and it was like full on, and it was hard for me. And then my heart was saying to me, you need to book a session with the lady what I was talking about with you. And I went there, and she was just this example of how this self-loving behavior happens. And it just somehow downloaded me. And after that, I have been to myself as so self-loving all of a sudden. It just comes so naturally from me. And it's so weird how fasting these things can now happen. Because yeah, and I have all of the sudden this vision to start doing this kind of work with others and to speak like freely and express myself, this kind of stuff, and start creating like a career, I don't know how to say it, so that I can have a money that I can do stuff I like. And I think if wherever I go, there is something for me. Like yesterday, I went a beautiful space where is this sea and all kind of nature, and I was watching. There were people that they were just enjoying their life, and all of a sudden I noticed that they all have a dog, and this I have this kind of my heart was like saying me that you should have a dog someday, that it would be very loving experience for you. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I want to have a dog one day, because I have been all my life too allergic to the animals, so it's been like something, no, it's not me. But now I know I can transcend these kind of allergy stuff, and I'm like, yes, I want one day I want dog to me. Yeah.
And they also have there are dogs today that are quite anti-allergenic, like a labradoodle, I think it's labradoodle, and they don't shed much hair at all, things like that, so definitely.
I know that. Yeah, I know that dog because my mom has that, and he's amazing. That dog, I haven't seen now, but he's just amazing. So maybe I get the same dog when I have more money and more stable life.
Well, with what you said, like you downloaded, like that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, when other lifetimes actually support us in this way. So you could download that from your another lifetime, and in that way you support each other, like these kind of capabilities and abilities. And this dancing for me, I remember even a few years ago, I always loved dancing, but I couldn't, because there was this incredible shame and self-consciousness of my body within me, and that kind of old Catholic type of shamefulness of being a free dancer, that is like, oh, maybe you're a prostitute or something bad is going to happen, or you're going to get, like those kind of, and that those were very much my matrilineal kind of feelings that I inherited. I didn't have them, and it stopped me from so many things. Like it stopped me from dancing when I was young and things like that, even though I've always loved it. So when I first really started dancing with myself in that way, I would just hit those feelings and the shame, and oh my gosh, and then that would stop me. But then I decided, no, I just have to dance through this. And then now they're gone. Like I can kind of dance hip hop, my own versions and whatever, you know, so it's like a real, for me too, a miracle that I can freely dance. And I've been also exploring, you know, that people that have come into my consciousness, like that are dancing in a very free way. Because you know how some dances, let's say you have a ballet or something, they structure every move, and but these people are just like, wow, you know, I feel the music and the music then dances me, you know, and that is kind of like what I'm experiencing now, where I don't want the structure or the proper steps or whatever. It's just experiencing music dancing me, you know, like and my body moving, just being in that presence with music and dancing, just completely freely, like what you said, Ida, you know, that freedom of movement. And that is just so enjoyable for my body. And then yes, me too, I feel all sorts of aches and pains, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, can I get out of my bed? Like, can I even like stand up? But then I find that I just start dancing and it's okay. You know, like I'm amazed that actually the tiredness doesn't translate into not being able to do physical stuff. You know, like this tiredness, like there is a specific tiredness, yes, when it comes and it's some kind of solar flare, I feel it. Yep, no, there's time for nap. I know that. But then if I feel tired otherwise, all of a sudden I start dancing and I'm thinking, wow, this tiredness used to translate into not being able to do physical activity, but now it just doesn't. Like the other day when I went for a walk and I thought I felt tired, but then after a few kilometers, I realized, wow, it didn't affect my walking at all. And at the same time, like you, yes, I haven't been feeling to go much out. I haven't even been going bush that much. It's pretty much been just a cave time at home. And my days are filled with so much stuff, but really I'm not doing much of anything at all. But it just feels like, you know, like I have so many not activities, just interest, and I have to check this and that and beautiful things that I watch, and it's just such a satisfying experience where I don't need to even go out into the world that much. Like last couple of months have been really very much cave time, you know, cave, just really flowing with what's going on with the energies, with if I feel like just sit down and okay, now I don't feel like you're not even moving a finger, that's what I do. Like I don't pressure, you know, to go and do. But it's like I haven't experienced this kind of cave time for actually never. Even at the time when I was going through the dark night of the soul, maybe I was 2 weeks like that at home. But otherwise, I've always been road tripping, always, all the years, except for last few months. I've never experienced this kind of times before.
Me too. And my soul told me many times when I was a little bit, well, I thought I'm in a cave or I'm stuck. My soul told me, you know yourself as well as I do. You have the peace in your us, and if you would be fine, if you would have all the strength in your body, if you would have all the abundance, things like this, you would go doing 3-4 times things at the same time, traveling the world, and you wouldn't be able to sit down like you do now, integrating, exploring the other realms, and just diving deeper and deeper into soul. That's what I feel too. And concerning with the body, I know it's going to change. I just have to accept it. It's like this right now. And once we meet, I'm sure I'm able to dance again.
I think like in the next couple of months, a lot will change. That's my feeling. And also like the people that I speak with, so many are saying very similar. All of a sudden now, I'm starting to feel passion for what I want to do and what I want to create. It's still just a feeling at the moment, but it is that time where to feel it, that it's possible, you know, to own it and feel it. And in the next couple of months, I think it will then slowly start to develop, and then we'll just be ready, like June, July, August will just be boom, 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 you know, manifest, manifest, manifest. But we can now actually own it, and we can feel it, that it's already happening, and we can imagine within that space. I feel myself, this what I feel passionate about, and I feel as if it's real, and it is real for me, within me, and own it, and then explore all the different things within that space. Because you know how it is, like when you start something, that's just the beginning, really. It's only when you you know, you actually step by step, then you learn all these things and issues and little, you know, like you may have an idea of something, but it's actually when you physically start doing it that you have to be flexible, and then to keep being able to change to fit with what you actually find. But I think it is really time to own and be, and let all of the self-doubts, when they come, just in uncompromising. No more. I don't feel that. I am a master. Miracles are possible for me. Things that I feel passionate about, I feel there's a reason why I feel passionate, because it is within my space that I can achieve it and manifest it, you know. Otherwise there would be no need to feel it at the moment. There would be no need for
permanently
it.
The impossible is going to be possible. It's this is very deeply ingrained. Just let it come out. And if I sense in the next month, it's for me, it's so funny. I never thought about my birthday in the last years. Never. It was just occurring. But this year, it's so. I mean, my birthday is on the 22nd of June. It's 3 months after, exactly after the Heaven's Cross. And I was born in the longest day, shortest night, at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was the night from the 21st to the 22nd of June. And this year, I perceive so intensively that this time now, around my birthday, where everything is going to change into just a different direction. These 3 times are over. These 3 months are over from after Heaven's Cross, the opening. We do have integrated, and after that date, at least for me, things can just come out and explode. So yeah, I let it happen, accept, and have my naps.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you perceive it, Ida?
What?
How do you perceive it? That's what's working out for you.
I don't know. Can you say again?
How do you perceive it this time now? How does it work out for you?
This time, what is now going on?
Yeah.
I feel tired too. I don't do much. I do a little bit, but I do feel tired, and then I rest. And I have to say, I have some kind of body stuff. I don't have any pains, but my body it's like there is all the time like a little bit of fever. It's been Science Heaven's Cross, like there's little bit fever, and sometimes I have a flu. But I think this is just, I'm going also, there is this strong transformation process going on, and it's going like all the time. but it's now so much easier and so much simpler that it feels like almost like I have to do nothing about it. It just goes. And all I have to do is to choose this self-love thing, and it feels it almost like it's not anymore too possible almost to go anywhere else that this self-loving space, because once it really has been felt and accepted, it's the new one.
And it's hard to even remember what it was like before, isn't it? It's hard to even remember the times when we didn't love the self. Do you find it difficult? It's like, yeah, so easy to forget.
Yeah, but for me, it's not been a long time ago when I wasn't self-loving, but still it feels like it's so long time ago. It's so weird how fast this change can now be.
Well, because I think because it is natural, you know, it takes a lot of effort not to love self, like, and to be so harsh to oneself. And the only times really that I remember is when I go, let's say, with spend some time with normal people, because then I realize how they're dealing with themselves still. I mean, they're still dealing in the old days, and that's when I remind myself, like, wow, you know, I'm so grateful for the work that I've done with all of this, because there is nothing more precious than, you know, like, regardless of what happens with humanity, what happens with me, whether, you know, I leave tomorrow or whatever, or in 30 years, whatever, I've kind of achieved what I came here to do, really. And that's, like, for me, this Heaven's Cross is just such a big, I mean, it wasn't really very significant for me, like, in, you know, on that day when it happened, but these last few months, I've just really stepped into this just joy of living. I realized, wow, there is nothing more I have to do. You know, all of those kind of heavy things that I felt like I have to keep working at things, you know, that I've gone. And all of a sudden, I just feel like I don't even feel like the need to do any projects, you know, like last few years have been so strongly working with the Dharmas and Saint Germain on this. And I remember when I said, okay, a few years back, I said, okay, yes, let's do this thing. I didn't even know at that time the details of what it was all about, but it was all about coming together as a group, you know, in non-physical spaces. And we were just working on this. And there were some things that I wanted to change in my life, and they just didn't change. I couldn't, and I was wondering why. And then I realized it's because everything was just given priority to the, you know, I was giving priority to all of that work. And so I've accepted, okay, so some things are just, I have to accept it as it is and stuff. But now, me too, I'm realizing on a much deeper level of what level I can change, and getting back all of myself back to here, and to realize that I don't have to participate in any group things anymore. And if Adama suggests something, I'm gonna kick him in his butt and say no more. Yeah, because this is really, I'm done, you know, not with this kind of work, that's different, but this off-world work. I don't know how to say, off-world work, that now it really does, like he mentioned also, you know, I haven't been watching Shouts, but this last one, for some reason, I was attracted to sort of see him. It's like, yeah, this is exactly how I've been feeling in the last few months, is no more of work. Humanity is where it is. I don't feel any responsibility. I can just enjoy the real things that are important to me, like, you know, freely dancing. And these are the things that are important to me, because I've done all of that. And now it's just this enjoyment, playing, traveling, you know, more photography, more just these kind of things for no purpose it at all in this way. If it feels joyful, I want to do it. And there's so many things I also like along in my life I let go, I didn't do, because so much of me was just this transformation. We have to transform this pattern, we have to transform that and that and that all the time. And now I'm realized, wow, I don't even, unless someone comes, the private session or something. But apart from that, in my everyday life, every waking minute, I don't have to even do any more integration, not even more transformation, nothing. I can just pretty much just enjoy my life. And that is just so new to me. And I didn't even realize that that was even an option, or that I wasn't doing that before. So it's funny how like so much you just don't even realize of, because you just go with like high level soul decisions, and you just go along with it. But yeah, for me it's like, that has been such a feeling also of relief to not feel responsible for anything anymore for other people's stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We can just dance and drink and be merry and drink coffee and eat chocolate.
Yes.
and visit all of the places that Doris is going to organize for us, with flowers and orchids.
Yes, there.
Everywhere, I feel it's so, you know it already, Alexis, but it's so deeply ingrained within me to bring this beauty of nature, of flower, which was until now for many people unknown. What beauty is serving you. And I realized it when my sister, my brother, Flora came along for my sister's birthday. I like to prepare the table really beautiful and with lots of flowers and so on and so on. And they were just smashed down. My sister did it before too, decades ago, but now she got older, and I felt within her that she gets empty within. She doesn't have the joy of life anymore. I mean, she's over 80 now, but it doesn't matter. But they enjoyed it so much here, staying with me. And we had some walk outside, going to all this to the waterfall, to the small rivers up on the hills and so on. I showed them, and there I felt or became aware. Yeah, that's it. People who are worn in a way, worn out, and I think this will increase. Also, what Adamus was speaking about is mental illnesses and stuff like this, that we are here, and I know it's my mission to bring this extremely exotic, extraordinary beauty into all these spaces that people also from our consciousness. They are many. They don't have this contact to nature, to flowers, to the beauty of the nature. So yeah, that's my mission, to show it, to create all these spaces around the world. And Alexis, Fiji is not so far away from you. You can easily come along. And it's such a beautiful place. Whenever I dive in, it's so beautiful. There's a small video. I send it to you. I send it to you too.
You have, yes, and it isn't far from here. It's actually very close. Yes.
I think so. 4 hours flight or things like this. And
which is nothing here. Which is nothing here. 4-hour flight.
Really nothing. There's a natural rainforest. There are waterfalls. There's, I don't know, 2 kilometers of white sand beach. You can go. One can create a little harbor if you want to. There is a cocos plantage, but I would reuse it and plant all this beautiful fruit trees I love. Not only the coconuts, there are so. I mean, I experienced it in Tahiti and Polynesia before. Oh, these wonderful exotic fruits! I could eat them all day long. So, and then all the flowers, the beauty, and just be there dancing, laughing.
Drumming, playing music.
Drumming, drumming.
Mhm.
I'd love to learn it, drumming. I did it once, but it hurt me very much in my fingers. But I think one gets used to it. So
Yes, all of this. Next time, maybe I will bring my drum with me. I'll have it here, and I can play. I enjoy playing drum. It's a little bit heavy, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to arrange things a little bit differently and play in our group. We can do instrument group next time or something. I don't know. We'll see. But it feels like, for me, it feels like we've come to completion, haven't we? Like we're now gonna go and have a nap.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my coffee and a nap afterwards.
Oh dear. Oh my gosh, today. But I woke up late, then I had a Zoom conversation with someone, and then I had to go for a nap, and I thought, how am I gonna get energy? And then I danced and danced and danced, and then it's like, yes, I'm awake. Okay, ready. And then all these little technical glitches. I'm sure that's probably solar flares. And now here we are, another nap coming up. I know. So I will send you, I will upload it. I will upload the video tonight. I think I'll just upload it and send you the links. But thank you very much. Like I will have a nap because it's uploaded. It takes forever here our internet is so slow, it takes forever. So I just click and it will probably take an hour or two to upload, and then by then my nap will be probably done, and then I can just quickly send emails and so you can have it, or maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. Nothing is guaranteed these days, but definitely there will be a video. So dear Doris, just keep working with those cells. You just boss them around. With love. With love.
Yeah. I became aware they just wanted to be recognized. They want to be loved. And I think this is also, as you mentioned, so many genres have these issues now. It's the missing self-love who shows up through the cancer. And I realized also the recent weeks and months, everything is truly based on love, loving yourself, compassionate love with others. It does change. It really does change. Also in relationships, and I mean, just shortly, when I stayed with my daughters in March, my younger daughter became very aggressive against me, and the older one said afterwards, "Mommy, I couldn't believe how quiet you stayed, how quiet you were." And I just accepted her, did send all my love there and said, okay, it's, I don't accuse myself going on for decades. For me, there's no guilt and shame anymore. It's done. And you have to find your own way. And one day I know we come together. I give her a time. I give her all her freedom, and I said no to our holidays we thought about in June in Tuscany. I said no, not under these circumstances. Just let her go with my other daughter. It's better the two are together with my nephews and so on. And then she can think about herself. Now she has the possibility to think about herself, what she wants. I, as a mother, just go, be far away and give all the freedom to her. So I felt also once I felt the love between her and me, I was able to react like this. So yeah, love is really what's guiding us.
And the answer to everything, truly, it is like the feeling of love. It just is, and what other people do also, you know, it's up to them, but we feel love regardless of how they react or act or don't act. Yeah. All right, dear ladies, it's been wonderful. And enjoy the surfing of all these flares and who knows what else, because from every time we come together, we have no idea what the next month will bring. So just let's enjoy whatever happens, whatever it brings, and let's just self-love. And thank you to each one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.